Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Erica if you haven't checked out the channel before, and we are here to do a post review on a recent diamond painting that I completed. Specifically, I'm talking about Palm Paradise, which is a Diamond Art Club canvas, and it is by Auclair Studio. The canvas is 20 inches by 27 inches or 50.7 centimeters by 68.9 centimeters. There are 73 different colors, 2 fairy dusts, and 3 ABs. Those 5 special drills are part of that 73, not in addition. Excuse my appearance, I have this week off and I cannot be bothered to blow dry my hair or put on decent clothing. So, apparently in my videos, the only potential options for clothing are Indiana University or a hoodie. So before we get into it, let me reveal this canvas to you so you can see what it looks like, and then we will flip the camera around and talk about the notes that I took when I was completing this canvas. But without further ado, here's Palm Paradise, all finished. So many colors. Let me make sure you can get that whole thing in there. There it is. One of the most colorful canvases that I've completed. Let me shake it around so you can see the shimmers of those couple fairy dusts as well as the ABs. It's not the most sparkly kit I've ever done. It is a round kit. I failed to mention that. So usually I think they're a little more sparkly than this, but I think it came out really nice. Let's talk a little bit more about the canvas itself. All right, so I started this particular canvas on, let me look at my notes here, March 16th of 2025, and I completed it on March 31st of 2025. Now, I did not think I was gonna get it done that soon, or I would have waited to film my completion, my first quarter in review, but I really didn't think I would get it done in that time. And it was a super quick canvas. There's a random drill. I actually didn't work on this for several days during that time, probably about 5 days, which is why I really thought there's no way I will get this done. But as you can see, it took me like just over 2 weeks. I think that if I would have worked on it for those 5 days, I probably would have finished it in certainly under 2 weeks. It's almost a negative for me how fast this one worked up, because I mean, we spend good money on these, and if I look at it as I'm paying for entertainment, and so sometimes I like them to last a little bit longer. This is not a tiny kit. This is kind of a medium-sized kit. Although diamond count is 44,526. So it's not, I guess it's less diamonds than I would think based on the size. And of course, because it's round, those do tend to go much faster. Now, this was also a lot of colors, 73 colors in this kit. I thought that this was a kit that had a lot of color changes, but not a ton of confetti, if that makes sense. There's obviously quite a bit of line blocking down here, and then there are these, what look to me like brush strokes, kind of all over the canvas, and those went pretty quickly. Even though you had to change colors a lot, it was like a small color blocking area. In the way that the colors transitioned, you were in the same color family for a little bit. There's a drill right here that's not cooperating. Where are you? You will not get away alive. Oh no. Okay. I think it's just an extra one. Hold on. If I don't do this now, I'll never do it. It's the 310. Oh, this one's upside down. The 310 on this we'll get to. But yeah, so there was a lot of, I like to call it color blotching. It's It's not confetti, and it's not a whole area of the same color. I personally don't have the patience to do any of those canvases that are like just one thing in the middle and then all the same color with a little gradient outside. I would lose my mind. But I actually enjoyed that transition. There was, if any part was had more confetti, it was in the palms, these two larger palms in the fronds. But as you can see, even those are not super confetti heavy. Maybe down here, maybe a little bit, but I would not call this a confetti heavy kit. And I think that the evidence that it's not confetti heavy is how fast I finished it. The ABs in this kit, there were 3. There was a red 114, which you can see here primarily. And then there was a blue AB, which was number 120, which you can see a little bit right here. And there's got to be more of it than there. Possibly not. There's a little bit more of that red right there. Oh yes, here's more of the blue ABs right up here in this blue patch right here. And I'm not really sure, that's like the thing with this one. Why is this the area where the ABs needed to go in the sky? I don't object to the placement of the ABs in this one, but I also don't really understand. It's kind of an abstract painting to me. This down here, the banks, they're kind of muddled. You can't tell a lot of detail about that. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to this is more of an abstract painting. That was part of what I liked about it and part of why I bought it. But I just wanted to bring up that I thought the AB placement was, usually you can tell where it's going to go based on like sunlight, and I don't see any indication of sunlight, sunset in this painting, unless maybe I'm wrong, but this right here is the last AB, which is a white AB, and maybe that's supposed to represent, maybe that is supposed to represent the sun. Actually, I think it might be. But there it is, so that all the white ABs were centered around there. And then the fairy dust, there was a yellow and a green. And the yellow fairy dust was my favorite diamond color to place in this one. And there was actually quite a bit of it. I haven't unkitted this, let me show you. It's this pin, for lack of a better term, symbol, and then it is this color yellow, so it's a pretty true yellow. Let me find some on the canvas so you can actually get an idea of what it really looked like. So here's some on the canvas, and I thought it came out really well. Those drills were fun to work with, and there was a lot of them. I mean, it's right, it actually looks gold more than yellow when you're looking at it on the canvas, which is interesting. It's here, 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 here. Let's see if I can show you a little better. So it's this color. It shows up on the camera pretty true yellow, and it looks like that in the bottle as well, but on the canvas it actually shows up kind of gold, which I like. And if you're not familiar with a fairy dust, it's got glitter on top of it. And then the green fairy dust, there weren't as many, but they were also really cool looking. There's some up here, up here. So it's kind of this right here. So it's a little bit of a bright green. And I liked that. I thought that added a nice highlight to those palms. Again, I'm not sure on the lighting here because like it's all kind of dark colors, and then you get to these really bright couple colors over there. But you know, again, I'm not the artist. I'm here for the entertainment of actually completing the diamond painting for a little stress relief, and that is about it. I would say my least favorite portion of this diamond painting to work on, or maybe, I don't know about my least favorite, but just something that I thought if that I didn't prefer was this palm. I actually double checked to make sure I was using the right color. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's like brown. And I was using the right colors. So it's a dead little palm there in the forefront. Poor guy's like just not getting enough sunlight or something. So I thought that was a little odd. But again, I overall really liked this one. My favorite part of this diamond painting to work on was, to me, at the end. So when I was working on this, I started at this bottom right corner, which is what I typically do because I'm left-handed. And I just went row with the perforated squares by row by row. And I actually went all the way up. At some point I flipped it around, but I still went all the way up in order. And my favorite areas to work on was the top. So it was just this, all these purples over here, and then the blues over here. So let me zoom in. So this blue section was really fun. I just really like how it looks like paintbrush, like smudges or strokes here. And because it went pretty fast because a lot of it was the same color, and I just enjoyed that part. Same thing over here. It's just a different color. So it's more the purples. And I thought that I liked how they intermingled these colors a little bit, but it again kind of looks like somebody was doing this with a brush. So those were my most and least favorite parts of this particular diamond painting to work on. I overall definitely enjoyed this one. I did think potentially it could have been a little bigger, I guess, because it didn't take that much time. And like I said, we're spending good money on these, so I don't want them to take me 4 minutes. This was my 6th finish of 2025, and it is my 11th finish of all time. I had very few problems with the drills, except for the 310, which I don't think will come as a big surprise to anybody. There was quite a bit of trash in the 310, and as a result, I ran pretty low on those drills. I also ran pretty low on, I like to call it the tennis court drills. Let's see if we can get that in focus. Yeah. So that is 3371, so pretty dark, but I mean, I did not have very many of these left. I was really picking through at the end, trying to get together enough diamonds in order to finish the canvas. But as far as the rest of the colors, just looking here, I don't really see any others that ran low. I think there was a sufficient amount of everything else except for maybe the 310 and then the 3371. I was a little low as well on the plus symbol, which is 741. It was an orange color, so that makes sense because there was a ton of it up in this area. But I had enough. I got a little nervous, but I had enough. I used my one and only Diamond Art Club pen during this with the clear wax, and that worked out really well for me. I used it on both sides of the pen, and I enjoyed this diamond painting immensely. This was also a twofer because I was able to do this diamond painting, which was fun to complete, and then this was also the second of 5 diamond paintings that I wanted to complete in 2025, if you looked at my goals video. So I got that out of the way, and I am now, I just had to do math, sorry, it took me way too long to tell you that I am 40% of the way, 2 out of 5, through my diamond paintings that I wanted to complete for this year. I am also doing really well on, I think, I'd have to look back at the video to make sure, but I think my goal was to complete 15 diamond paintings in 2025, and I have now 6. I've got some larger paintings I think they're gonna be coming up, so that pace is gonna slow down. But that's okay. I mean, there's plenty of time left in the year for me to hit that goal. I think that it's a very reachable goal, even if I have some times this year that are gonna be a little harder than others to diamond paint. But that's it for this review. I will also tell you that this kit just came back into stock on a restock. So if you're interested in it, a lot of the kits that I've been completing lately have been out of stock or discontinued. This one is still around, I'm happy to say. So if you're interested, you can pick this one up from Diamond Art Club. And that's all I have for today. So thanks so much, everybody. Please consider giving this video a like or commenting on it on your way out. Happy diamond painting!